And I forgot to turn my headphones on so I can use this mic instead of that mic. Because right now I'm using the mic in the actual laptop, which is almost as bad as the camera. And let me guess, it connected to my freaking phone. Yep. Disconnect. Let's go over here and connect it. Connect. Connected. Now let's make sure it's going through it. And it is. So everything should be good now. Everything should be going through these things, which are all twisted up around my face. Let's have some Coke. Where's Sergio? I'm actually drinking a Coke, not a Pepsi. He'd be so proud of me. Someone else bought him. That's why. So anyways, there's the table saw. Oops, wrong way. It's looking much better. And the phone's ringing. Hang on. Alright. This is my brother. He found something on sale. He wants me to go buy it. He has me buy it because he won't get his own Amazon account. I don't know why. So I buy it. And he's weird. He's old. It is cheaper for me because I don't pay for my Amazon Prime account. I beta tested for Amazon way back. Oh God, was it 99, 2000? I don't know, years and years and years ago, like 20 years ago when they first started the Prime. What's up, Matt? And I've never paid for it. I always get a bill. They say they're gonna bill me. I always get next month you're gonna get a bill, and they never bill me. I never been paid. I've never paid for Amazon Prime. I've had it since the beginning of time. Anyway, so table saw. It's looking very pretty. It looks kind of green, don't it? Must be the color. It's actually very silver. It's all been completely cleaned up. The only thing I didn't clean up were these because they're really not that bad. They're a little rusty. I should do the ends of them. Maybe I will. They're not bolted on yet. They're just kind of sitting there. I wanted to make sure everything fit. This thing was absolutely disgusting. Now I can't get it off of there. Then I had to pull this thing completely apart. This rod, which is your tensioning rod, was just like a hairy ball of rust. but it's all cleaned up now. It's all pretty. Looks almost new. Not quite. These bolts are still a little rusty. I took the wire brush to them, but excuse me, they're still a bit rusty. But most of it, the heavy crap's gone. It's all cleaned up, and you can actually see the freaking gauge. Before it was just like covered in goo. All in here was disgusting. I completely pulled it apart, cleaned it, wire brushed the crap out of it. I actually painted this. I don't like painting them because it can actually ruin the face, but it's got the notches pre in it, and I'll probably put like a piece of plywood or something here for a face anyways. So I won't be running the board on the paint, so it won't matter. And there's only one coat. If you really look, I don't know if the camera can show it, but it's not very thick. But where I wire brushed it so heavily, I got most of the rust off and sanded. I wanted to recoat it. It has like an enamel, hard enamel paint on it initially. But is that in there? Yeah, that's in there, right? Yeah, it came out pretty nice. I even did this thing. I don't know why. Nobody ever uses these. I never use them. I even cleaned this all up, repainted most of it, and the only thing I didn't paint, obviously, was this face, because that's your, but I did hit it with a wire brush, and I painted all the body of it, and cleaned the crap out of this, even though you can still see it's still all pop marked with, the rust is gone, but all the pop marks where the rust was is still there, but you can't do anything about that with these. This thing's terrible anyways, they always are. This is actually kind of nice. I'm almost thinking about trying to make this one work. This is an older heavy duty one, which if you get it square and you lock it square and you leave it square and never try and adjust it, it's not bad as a square. It's real heavy duty and it's thick and solid and holds secure and has the auto dedent pin and everything. It's actually a nice, for a stock one, it's a nice one. This thing was disgusting. Can't believe I polished this out. This came out clean, mostly. I literally hit it. I got a really soft wire brush that I put on the drill, and it polishes. And the paint on this was just, I didn't even get most of it off. I just painted right over it. Because again, nobody ever uses these. I may fix this though. It's a little loose in there, so I might be able to put a plastic coating on it. Believe it or not, if you put packaging tape on them and then wax it, they'll hold pretty square in the track as long as you put the packing tape on there square. And then they actually work. Again, the packaging tape wears out after a while, but in reality, it's the other thing you can do is a lot of guys I've seen take them and it's held up off the bottom a little bit. So you have like a 1/8 to a 1/16 of an inch off the bottom, and they drill holes and they screw on some of that white plastic, whatever it is. It's like nylon. You can buy it in sheets, and it's like semi-translucent white. Maybe it is just, no, it's not nylon, but it's some kind of super slippery plastic. And they drill holes in it and they screw it on the bottom, and that keeps it in the track square. That's all you got to do is get it. If it bobbles in the track, it's no good, which this does. This bobbles. It's got bobble. But it looks good now. I should probably sand these down. But I got to take them back off to put the wings on it. I'm not putting the wings on it yet because I can barely move this thing. This is all solid cast iron. The guts of this thing's all solid cast iron. It weighs about 1,000,000 frickin' pounds. And I still have to make a base for it. But all the little gizmos work now. And they all work fairly smoothly. I just got a cheap blade in there for now. I haven't even tried the up and down yet. Yep, up and down works just fine. All works smooth. Works really smooth actually. And I got to put the motor on it, which my brother's like, "Oh, the motor works great." Turns it on, and it's like loud as crap. It's like, "Ah, it sounds smooth." He rebuilt motors for vacuum cleaners, and he thinks that's smooth, and I think it's absolutely noisy. I have heard better. And this is supposed to be a 3 horsepower. I don't think that's the original motor because I'm pretty sure this is not a 3 horsepower motor. And it looks much better than the rest of the saw does. So I have a feeling somebody put a new motor in it. So new motor. I don't think that's a 3 horsepower. Does it say on it somewhere? Yeah, it doesn't say horsepower. It just says 3,500 RPM. But that's kind of loud. It is fairly smooth though. But I think it needs a bath, if nothing else. So I may pull it apart and give it a bath. It doesn't say how many horsepower it is. It just says 3,450 RPMs, 60 hertz, and 120 volts. Motor is non-reversible. Wonder if I can get this pulley off. Let's give it a shot. What did I just do with the Allen keys? Pretty sure this will be a 4mm. Nope. Maybe a 3mm. No, this the other thing that's beginning to irritate me with this saw. This is when the U.S. started converting to metric. So this thing's like half metric, half standard, half SAE, and it can't decide which one it wants to be. A lot of the frame is standard. A lot of the components are metric. It's really kind of bizarre. Let's see. It should be one of these 3. If it's standard. Is it this one? Yep. Maybe not. No, that's the one. Wow. I expected that to give me some resistance, and it did not. But I have a feeling this will. Did I put my rubber mallet away? I put one of them away. Not all of them, though. Probably not going to get it off because I'm going to have to spray the crap out of it first. And it looks like it's pretty well rusted on there. Oh, spiders. Don't like spiders. Not a spider guy. When I do this first, I'll hit it with some stuff. I need a battery. Need a battery. I'm going to go for the big battery. You know, it's probably not fully charged. No, it's fully charged. I got a big battery fully charged. Makita, baby. Makita, Milwaukee. Otherwise, don't bother. Get all the goopy goops out. And there's a lot. Oh, that was dumb. There's a lot of rustling in this area. It's already looking better. Might have to take a more aggressive bristle to it, though. This is like a soft one. Hi, bye. And Matt was on both. Yeah, I should probably put up a noise warning, huh? This is more of a polishing brush. Alright. But now, if I take this out, I can squirt a little PB Blaster in there, or WD-40, what do we got, PB Blaster, and it will work its way, hopefully, more easily around the pulley. Those bearings sound shot to me. He's like, oh, it sounds great. It's like, no, they really don't. They're kind of loud. Rust. Just in this one spot. There must have been water or something getting in there. Mouse. That, because it looks like there's insulation and crap stuck in here. So I'm guessing a mouse is trying to live in it. Because the rest of this motor is pretty clean. So I still think I should take it apart. Double check it. It's kind of a stiff bristle, but I guess it'll work. Stiff bristle brush. I have a feeling this motor's way too small to actually operate this saw properly. But you never know. It's actually a 3 horsepower, which means it's like a 1.5. When they claim 3, it's always the startup power, not the actual running power. Because most of these motors have a startup connector. Probably put up a noise warning here. It's actually probably not that loud. I think this mic actually cuts the noise down, doesn't it? Anyone still left in here actually listening? Probably pissed off a lot of freaking people with my post about Ted Cruz. Idiot. Well, that's cleaner. Much cleaner. And I'm just gonna stick it in there so I don't lose it. If I can. Here we go. Let's see. With this over. Yeah, it's bubbling. I don't know if can you see that? Pushing the PV blaster out. And it moves. That was easy. And if you notice, I was pushing it on and off and on and off because that breaks some of the crap free. I really should buy better pulleys because I have a feeling these are out of balance, cheapo aluminum pulleys, which are generally out of balance. Can I get that key out, or is it rusted in there? Good. Polish that up a little bit. See if we can get this key out. Wow, I've really screwed up this poor screwdriver. I'm thinking it's rusted in there pretty good. Because it is not wanting to come out. There we go. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Polish it up. I love this wire wheel. This is a polishing wheel. on here. Soft. Doesn't like tear up your skin if you nick it. If you held it there for a while, it probably would. But if you just get whacked, it doesn't tear you open like my other one did. My other one actually tore me open. I hit my arm right here. Freaking ripped my whole hand up. Wonder if I got enough paint to paint this. No, that rust off. Give it a bath. It does run. We started it up. What I do know? It does run. What, let go. Wow, that's gnarly. Oh, almost lost the stuff. Almost lost the stuff. Might have to get the more aggressive wheel for this rust spot right here. Oh, rusty right here. Not just surface rust that this thing gets off. But need a little more aggressive wheel. That's pretty nice. I think there was a clip on here at one time. It's just a pile of rust now. I am not going to bother painting that because it really needs to be just replaced. Let's see, I'm going to try a more aggressive wheel on it and see if I can get a lot of it out of here. Oh, crap. Where's my little baby wheel that's super freaking gnarly? Oh, crap. This little wheel is super harsh. Like, you can't see it. This is like a week old, but it, like, I grazed my hand and it just like tore me open. It was not pleasant. but it is chewing up the rust. You're getting it down to metal. So there's probably nothing but rust here. That hurt. They got my hand. It is getting down there. Yeah, too much stuff, not enough working space. Well, that's better. There's not much metal left right there. It's all chewed up. But, you know, hey. It'll sort of protect. Well, that's better. It's far from perfect, but it's better. What do we have here? A whole big nightmare. Well, let's see. Do I have a regular old toothbrush here to defuzz it? I do. De-sawdust it. Anyone even watching this crap? The whole 3 people, it says. 3 people with nothing better to do but watch me play games. That's pretty funny. But I appreciate it. I think one of them is actually me. I think I got one of my browsers watching it. I would almost like to do this for a living. Like, take people's tools and have them ship them to me and give me a couple, $3, $4, $5 million. Say, here, make my old tool new again. I actually kind of enjoy doing this. I always have. Something about taking something that's all beat up and falling apart and making it work again. It's fun. What do we have there? A flathead. And I believe the mount should now come off somehow or another. I thought it should. It's just gooped on there really good. There it is. Sawdust everywhere. I'm not big on taking motors apart though. They never really want to go back on the right way. You get all the brushes and everything to line up. Not that it's that big a deal. I should probably take it outside with a compressor and hit it with a compressor. Well, that's not too great. I'm dumping the crap back into the motor. Oil. This is an oil head that I did not know. Probably never been oiled. It's a little oil port for the bearing. Does this one have an oil port? Nope. I got most of it off the outside here. I'm debating on whether I should just pull it apart and pull the armature right out and everything. And just go to town on it. What do you think? Should I? Could I? Should I? Would I? Well, let's clean this off first. Where'd my drill go? Here. I want the buffing wheel on it. Not this one. What did I do with the buffing wheel? Right here. Buffing wheel. What did I just do with the plate? Oh, right here. Dumbass. Well, that's cleaner. Might as well clean everything, right? While I'm at it. Clean it all up. You know what? I'm going to do this nut right while it's right here. I love this buffing wheel. Stainless steel buffing wheel. And it just works really well. Doesn't really remove the rust, it just takes the surface rough off. It busts it up, but it's really good at cleaning. Like really good. Like brings up a shine. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but you can see the first half where I buffed it, and it's not even the side I buffed completely. Yeah, you can see it. I don't know, can you? Is that thing focused enough? It like totally shines everything up. Just shines everything up really nicely and makes everything look good and removes the surface rough. Look, it's all shiny again. Let's do the top side. Oops. Looks a whole lot better. Not perfect, but a whole lot better. Probably a total waste of time. but it makes me happy. And it just looks better. Again, it's not perfect, but I don't know if you can see the difference. But it just shines everything up, gets rid of all the surface rust. It's still got like the black pot marky marks in the metal from the rust, but it's not actually rust. It's where the rust used to be. Where the rust is eaten into the metal. Now it's down to metal again. Not just rust. And it just makes it more pleasant to work with, all in all. Can't believe how well this nut is spinning on here. It's a pretty rusted nut. It's spinning just fine. It's really surprising. Yeah, good enough. Better than it was. This one, the actual bolts is fine. But I think I'll hit it just to polish it up. Get rid of any goopies in the threads. This one is not as bad as the other one was. Grab on. What aren't you holding? This one doesn't even have any rust on it. Doesn't even bother. All right. Back to the main motor body. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, crap. Not light. Can't get in there. I can with that other one, though. This one's a semi-soft one. I'm trying to clean it up as I take it apart, so. The crap doesn't get in. I mean, it's still getting in there because it's an open vent, but you know. That cap's in. Let's do this one. Bin bada bin. Want to get inside this, which I'm going to need one of the two little ones for. I wonder if the softie will get in there. I think it will. Most of it, anyways. I don't know if you guys can see the dust coming off of it. Not like aluminum dust, it's just dust. Makes it look a whole lot better. Nothing else. Alright, the question is, should I pull this motor apart? Or should I just blow it out? debating. Nasty. Jesus. Trying to get that white, crappy, basically aluminum rust, that white stuff. It's not really coming. A little bit better. Probably gonna kill this battery. Even though it's one of the bigger batteries. A little better. And here's the battery dying. That is so much cleaner. Dirty. Clean. Wonder if I can get inside here. Good enough. Should I pull it apart? Kind of want to, just to see inside. But I don't think I'm gonna. though I probably should. Just so I can get inside of it and clean it. See how loud it is. Oh, I can't walk. This ought to be fun. Is it going to take off on me? Yeah. Probably put a clamp or something on it. Not terribly loud. I think I'm just going to hit it with the leaf blower, which is, where's the leaf blower? I'm not going to do the air compressor. I'm just going to do the leaf blower. Where's the leaf blower? Right here. It's going to get loud, guys. This is way louder. Put it somewhere where I'm not going to put all the tools all over the place. What is up, Mr. Pillow? Yes, garage llama. I'm a garage llama, working in the garage with my big electric motor. Supposedly this is a 3 horsepower motor, but I don't think it is. It's not really big enough. Well, that just got loud. It actually made it louder. Let's spin it up and see if it got louder. I wonder what kind of oil that thing's supposed to add. This has got an oil port. It's an oil right here. It says oil. I wonder what kind of oil. I don't see any kind of lubrication in there at all. I wonder if the manual says. I actually have the manual. Look at that. I wonder what year this thing is. It doesn't say anywhere on there. Oh, 96. So this is 96. The saw was made in 96. That's how old it is. And it's looking much better. What's up, Mr. Wilson? Yeah, I'm kind of buffing and cleaning. My brother really wants this saw, and he thinks I'm going to use it, and I'm not the biggest fan of these. I shouldn't say that. They're a really good basic table saw. There's stuff I really like about them, and there's stuff I really hate about them. It's the problem. I really don't like the switching. I really don't like the play in the arbor, which I've actually taken care of with this one because I put an extra set of shims in there. And the blade still spins absolutely perfectly. So, motor, circuit overload, general overload, incorrect fuse, motor overheats, motor. Doesn't say what kind of oil you're supposed to put in there. I'm guessing it's just like regular 3-in-1 oil, which I probably don't have any of. But what I do have, some pneumatic tool oil. which that fights moisture. And may not be the right weight oil, but it might actually be good for it. And I have 2 bottles. And I'm pretty sure this is about the same as 30 weight, if I remember correctly. And it might actually be good for it. I have no idea how much to put in there. We'll just put a bunch in there. And spin it up again. In reality, with these electric motors, after you rebuild them, which I didn't actually do, I just cleaned it and oiled it. You're supposed to let it like run for an hour, half an hour, whatever. I quieted it up quite a bit. That's some nut, that's for sure. I wonder if I can oil the front bearing. The only thing I hear now is the front bearing. That rear bearing quieted right up. Well, I don't think I'm going to tear it apart. I hear some crap rolling around in there, but I'm just going to put some oil down this axle and let it sit for half an hour. Should spin it up, but I'm scared this thing's going to take off on me if I do it standing up. It's sucking it right down in there. Whether it's actually getting to the bearing or if it's just this little sleeve here, I don't know, but it is an older motor. Let's see, can I open this thing up far enough to put the motor in there? I think I can. Not quite. No, I'll do that. It's got a slight lean to it. It's fired up again. You guys getting a kick out of me freaking spinning up this motor? Hold it in place. Yeah, that front bearing's shot. You can hear it grinding. Let's see an oil port for the front bearing. It's weird to have one for the back bearing and not the front bearing. I don't play with electric motors a lot. Usually when they go bad, I just throw them out and put a new one in with this kind of equipment. But I think I'm going to leave it for now and just mount it because it's really not in that bad of shape. If I need to bearing it, it's not that hard to do. It's an exposed, speak time, it's an exposed motor, the ones that dangle out the back. So to freaking pull it takes like 10 minutes. And it's definitely cleaner now. What else do I got to clean? This here thingy. But that just needs a wipe down. Because it's not in bad shape. It's actually in pretty damn good shape. It's the least rusty part on the whole saw. I don't see any rust on it. It's got an arrow. Now I gotta remember how it goes. I believe it goes this way. Yep. And where's the little hooky things? That hooky dooky on here. And then another one hooky dookies on the other side. I believe they gotta line up to that there thing or something. Probably should have paid more attention when I was taking it apart, huh? That would have made sense. This ain't new to me. I've done this all before. It's not dropped the nut inside the motor. That would really, really suck. That's one really long screw on there. What am I missing here? Serious dusting. Yep. Use motor oil. Yeah, well, this is basically 30 weight. Pneumatic oils. It's a little lighter than 30 weight. It's actually like, I don't know, 25 weight. But it fights water, moisture, better than standard oil. That's a synthetic. It's not a regular oil. So it's actually, in theory, at least in my head, it's better. I'm going to go with what's better in my head right now. Because, at this point, it can't be any worse. This thing sat in my brother's basement, all full of mouse and crap for probably 15 years. And then he brought it over here and said, "Hey, can we use this? Let's fix it." I'm like, "Okay." Of course, he just works for a day and then drops off and takes off, which is fine. I really don't care because I enjoy doing this to some extent. It's almost kind of fun to me. Okay, what am I missing here? Why is that not lighting up? That's better. And this and this. And it's all cleaned up. I'm thinking everything else on the table saw is done. And I got a new belt. What time is it? It's only a little after 2. Maybe I'll mount this thing and fire up the actual table saw. I don't think this table saw's been running 15 or 20 years. Let's see, I'm trying to think of when my brother's... He got this from my brother's father-in-law. From his father-in-law. Who basically got old and didn't want it in his house and was clearing his house out. My brother said, "I'll take it," and put it in his basement. Then he probably used it a half a dozen times. And there it sat. And this thing does something, and I don't remember what. Disco to? They're like clamped over this or something. I don't remember what it did. I honestly don't remember where it went. Anybody know what this thing does? I can look in the manual. The manual's got everything. This is a nice old machine. Everything is listed. Back in the day when they actually gave you stuff so you could fix your own crap. Gave you information. I remember it just being behind here. It was kind of just stuck in here like this. I don't remember how it went. Nope. Where'd the manual go? Where's the manual? Yeah, there is, but it doesn't say anything about the motor. And I'm pretty sure that's not the original motor. I think my brother bought that motor when he first got it. I don't think it's a 3 horsepower. There's nothing about oiling the motor in here. Is there even a motor section? Electrical, mechanical, cable. I don't see a motor. There's no motory section. I'm pretty sure there is because this was a kit. And I do remember because my father had this exact same saw. I mean, not this year, but Sears has made this basically the same saw since like the 50s, if not earlier. It's literally the same number. The 113 manual reset. Well, there's no manual reset on this one. Is there? No. Looks like covered it. L, motor. Motor, pre-attached to bracket. I would like to find a riving knife. I have the riving knife holder. It's got the riving knife, and it's actually not a riving knife. It's a blade guard, which everyone takes off immediately. But a lot of people are converting that holder to a riving knife, which I wouldn't mind having, because all my years in working with saws, I have had kickback, and my DeWalt doesn't have a riving knife, and I kind of wish it did. Mounting saw. Yeah, this thing was a full kit. I don't know if you can see all this, but this was a full-on kit. When you bought it, you had to assemble it when you bought it from Sears back in the day. And he only brought me 2 sets of rail supports. There should be another set. Not that I care, because I probably only put one on there. They almost never put material to the left of the blade. I always work on the right of the blade. Thickness of a paper. And a sit-up defense. I mean, everything's in here. It's pretty cool, actually. It's got the whole freaking manual from the 90s. I actually thought this thing might have been older. But it's not, which makes sense, because it's one of those capacitors, overload button, motor. Yeah, that's not the original motor. And I think that's only 1.5 horses. I don't think it's a 3 horse. centered. Oh, that holds that rusty piece of crap on. That's what that holds. Now I remember. It just came to me. What did I do with that rusty piece of crap? Right here. This thing that's all rotten. It's all rusted. Very rusty. I'm not even going to shoot it with paint, because I'm going to have to get another one. But this goes on here like so. I remember now. I remember taking it apart. And then this thing goes through here and clamps those to that. Nita Phillips. Number 2 Phillips. I got like 4 number 1 Phillips in this. Everyone keeps grabbing my damn Phillips and then putting a different one in there. Alright, what did I do with it? Right here. Okay, where'd it go? And that clamps this freaking stupid thing into place, which, quite honestly, I probably wouldn't even bother with, but I should, so I will. Okay, that's not lining up. Because it's between these two, you dumbass. Wrong hole. Wrong holes. I think this one actually screws right down to the bracket. There you go. Did it line up? Sure does now. And that just clamps it in place. It's kind of an obnoxious way to do it, to be honest with you. Very finicky. But I guess I can get it to work. If I don't lose the screw. This just makes it so you can clamp that stupid dust guard on. I remember now. Or belt guard. There's like a little plastic belt guard. Center it. Centered. It slipped. Kind of a really funky way to do that, but whatever. It worked. I wonder how bad this pulley is. Man, I got that brush in there, and this thing is still nasty inside. There's all kinds of little... I don't know if you can see, it's like kind of clean on the outside, but there's all kinds of like crap on the inside. I don't really like these cheap aluminum wheels much. What if I take the heavier brush to it? The heavier brush I think is going to dig into the aluminum. That brush I have on there is just a polishing brush and doesn't really dig into the aluminum much. But I think I'm going to give it a shot. This is a this is a cleaning brush. That's a polishing brush. Stripping brush, you should say. That's what this is. Let's try the stripping brush. That will strip the flesh right off your hand. Ask me how I know. see. Where's the marks? Here they are. Fits now. I need to remember what size believe it or not, I think the screwdriver fits. It does. You can get a flathead screwdriver in an Allen key. Did you know that? I just want it on there snug so I can hold it. I'm worried this thing's actually going to take metal off, not just polish the face. I want to get at it this way. I suppose I could just flip it over temporarily. Seems to be working better. Let's flip it over temporarily. So I can work the other side. Hey, jammed it in there. Well, it's smoother. Not what I would call nice, but it's definitely smoother. Well, you can definitely hear the bearing in the front. Pretty sure this goes this way. So we got the plate on there. Let's spin her up, see how bad it is. That's the worst thing I've heard. Gotta tighten up them clamps. Wiggling in the mount. But yeah, that front bearing shot. Tighten clamps. Hope I got it in the right spot. I mean, it's not that big a deal to move it if it's not. You know, just one more thing I got to do if it isn't. Clamp tight. Clamp tight. Just make sure it's not wiggling in the mount. I don't think it will now because it wasn't very tight. Ooh. Wiggling on the bench, but not in the mount. Well, it looks better. I don't know if it actually is better because that front bearing is shot from the sounds of it. But what's up, Ian? Yeah, this is a professional at work. That's funny. Actually, I have done this. Is not. I've rebuilt so many saws. Here, you want a real joke? This is an original Porter cable magnesium bed left-handed circular saw. I'm guessing this is from, when was this made? I've had this thing forever. Anyway, I've rebuilt this thing like 3 times because they are highly desirable. I think I paid $79 for this, and I'm gonna say I bought this one in because this is actually a second one because it's got this stupid. I hate this freaking thing. Um, I had one before this that was even older, but I think I got this in like '96 or '97, and I think I paid 70 or 80 bucks for it, which was a lot back then. I mean, that was an expensive saw. Most saws were like 50 bucks. I can get 200 or 300 bucks for this now, just because it's in working condition. And I've rebuilt this thing like 3 times because you just can't get anything that compares to it today. Although I shouldn't say that because skill saw and not skill saw. Skill and skill saw are 2 different degrees. Same company, they're both skill, but skill saw is their professional grade stuff. If you see something that's gray and it says skill saw on it, that's their pro grade tool line. That's like all your worm drive skill saws, they're all skill saws. If you buy the bright red come out of Walmart skill, that's their cheap crap. Skill Saw is making a left-handed saw now, just like that. Matter of fact, I think they bought the patent from Porter Cable because it's literally almost exactly the same. And I've got one. I had one. I don't have it anymore. My old boss bought it because I was left-handed and wanted the left-handed. He actually liked the left-handed too. He was using mine all the time. And why I got rid of the second one, my old one, because I had both. I had an older one, and one of the guys dropped it, and they got freaking pissed off because you can't replace it. Because Porter Cable don't make them no more, hasn't in years. And he's like, "Oh well, we'll get you something else that's nice." And he looked at the worm drives. He's like, "Let's get a worm drive." I'm like, "Worm drives are kind of big and heavy. They're nice for they're really nice for ripping long boards, but they're kind of big and heavy. They're ballsy as crap, but they're big and heavy." But we were looking at the worm drive, and um, Skillsoft came out with a left-handed magnesium bed everything recently. I mean, in the last 5 or 10 years. That's literally almost exactly the same thing as that. And we bought one. It was $100, I think. 79, $100. I think we got it for 79 because it was one of those. It was $100, and we bought it online. It was one of those tool stores that, like, oh, here, you're a first-time buyer. Use this coupon code. We give you 20% off your first order kind of deals. But I think we got it for like $79 plus shipping and all that. It was around $100, but it was nice. I don't think it was quite as good as that, but it was a nice saw. If I were to buy another saw right now, a regular 7 1/4 inch, blah blah blah, I would buy the left-handed skill saw in a heartbeat. That thing was pretty nice. Should we mount this motor? Do I have all the bolts to mount the motor? I believe I do. I'm not sure which ones they are. I'm guessing it's these little thin ones. But I'm not positive. And they're keywayed. Does that mount have a keyway? Let's look at the mount. Oh crap, my knee. I painted the mount. It's all pretty. I painted it. It was all yucky and rusty, and now it's all pretty and silver. Motor rotation. I believe these are the right bolts. Not positive though. Let's look. The manual will probably tell me because I'm pretty sure that's something you got to do. Just mount the motor. Mounting the motor. Do you do that first or last? Looks like they tell you to build the whole fence and table extensions. I bought some actually kind of cheap roller skate wheels for your office chair. And I put them on this office chair. It's my old office chair. I brought it out here. It's going to throw it away, and I've been using it out here. I'm actually kind of liking it out here because it's just, who cares? But I put the roller skate wheels on it because the plastic ones don't roll over all the sawdust and crap, regular office chair wheels. I think they were like $12 for a set of 5. Problem is it rolls too well now. It's like I keep rolling downhill because this garage floor, when I poured it, we poured it with a 4-inch drop over 24 feet. So there's a pitch from that wall, the inside back wall, to the front doors. So if you like spill oil or water or anything gas, it'll run out the door. The problem is if I sit here, it'll freaking roll out. I'll roll out the door. They roll that easily now. So it's kind of annoying. I kind of wish I had wheels sort of in between that had a little bit of a resistance, but actually rolled better than those cheap plastic pieces of crap that are on most. All right, motor mounting. Okay, we're getting there because that's the spreader and the blade guard. Here's the motor. Loosen both cradle clamps. Position motor on motor mount base. Put the motor base together against the flat surface of the workbench. Position the motor to the end where the terminal cover is facing you. Yep. Loosen both cradle clamps. Put a square against the left side of the motor, the top of the workbench. Turn the motor inside the cradle clamps until the top of both capacitors touch the square. Oh, that's weird. But I can do that. Didn't think that would make a difference, but I guess it does. Tighten both cradle clamps to hold the motor in that position. Oh, I see why it matters, because it's going to butt into this if it don't. Which I don't think it will with this one. This is a different motor. But I think I'll do that. That actually makes sense now that I look at it. So basically, these two capacitor holder-y things, they want flat, horizontal, the two tops of them. So when you mount it in this here bracket, it doesn't butt into anything. So let me get my square. Oh, I can't stand. My leg hurts. Wah. And we'll just take my nice big speed square and put that there. And this one needs to be spun down to hit. And so they're saying. I need the flat head again. I should put a socket head on here. Be a whole lot easier than the flat head. I probably have one. Just going to find it. Good thing I still have the manual. I don't think this actually matters all as much as they make it out to, but we'll do it if they want us to. Basically, you just go like that and then tighten them up. So these two bubbles are hitting the square. And that, my friends, is that. Fixed. All right, next. Jesus, I keep rolling away. Rolling away. Where was I? Back from there, because that's all showing how to feed stuff into the saw. It's a pretty good manual for what it was back in the day. This is the only thing I don't like. How to tighten your blade. Jam a piece of wood block in there, because they don't put a freaking wrench spot on the arbor. So you can only put a wrench on the nut, which means the blade spins. And yeah, you're screwed. 5/16, 18 3/4. Lock nut with a lock washer. It's got to be these right here. Yep, got to be these. Yep. Has to be. Should I buff them out? They're all kind of slimy. I think I will. I think they're going to get a buffing before they go together. Let's put the buffing wheel on. Get all the slime off of them. Get rid of the grinding wheel. I should call it grinding wheel. It's not actually grinding wheel. Stripping wheel, I guess it's called. Whatever. What I do with my plier-y things. What did I do with my channel locks? And they're actual channel locks made by Channel Lock. Oh, here's the bigger set. Bigger is better, right? Let's give it a buffing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it freaking cleans them up really nicely. They almost look like new bolts. And it gets the gunkies out of the threads too. If I can hold it. Problem is it's got the big freaking head on it. I don't know, can you see the difference? I mean, they're both brown, but this is clean and this is disgusting. Basically, just get the gunk off of it, all the dirt and crap. See if I close down the jaw a little bit if I can get a better grip on it. Much better. One more. Clean. Just looks so much better. Not all nasty and black and covered in goo. Wonder if I can do these. Yeah, not important. All right. Now, there is a way this thing's supposed to be mounted. How often do I check chat? Not very often. Jerry, curmudgeon. Yeah, I was wondering if it auto leveled. I thought it had. I wasn't sure if this mic did or not. Well, I'm not checking chat while I'm running stuff, but I do check it pretty often actually today because I'm just screwing off. I'm actually checking chat more than I normally do, if that makes sense. And I just lost my little lock washery thing. Put them all in the container. Let's look in the manual again because there is a certain way this thing's got to be mounted. And I think I know which way it goes, but because, it says motor rotation. So I'm guessing it goes like that, which I know it does. I don't even have to look anymore. Oh, this goes up here. Turn that way. I'm screwing myself because I know I had it right. It goes this way, just like that. I think. Yep, because this has got to be on the same side as the pulley because this is the lock for the belt tension. Right. I know I'm right. Let's just double check. That's for setting the tape measure, so the motor probably is already installed. Then again, maybe not. Old manual. Oh, there's the motor. Checking electrical connections. Manual's all falling apart. Okay, the capacitor's in. I want you to get a bolt through the bracket. So the two capacitors are up. So just like that. So this goes in here. This goes in here. I'm gonna have to take this off. So I'm gonna have to open it right up to get to the bottom. The lock washer and a nut. So I put the lock washer on the right way. If you didn't know, there is a right way for lock washers, especially these older ones. They're really nice. They're slightly domed with the teeth. So you want the teeth biting into the body of whatever you're mounting to, not the nut. Can I get my thing dangles in there to do this? Sort of. It ain't easy, I'll tell you what. And of course, after I said that, I put it on backwards. No, I did have it right. It just domed the other way. Okay. Where are you, nut? Oh, wait, I'm right here. I am a nut. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Pretty much I always feel like a nut, so there is no, sometimes I don't. Come on over here, motor. Frickin' thing weighs a ton. Oh, crap. It does weigh a good heft. Nope. Need the blocky washer first. And then the nut. Wait, I gotta lift this up to get it out of the way. One more. That's a little lock washer. Here's the big lock washer. You need a big lock washer. That lock washer. Oops, was this way? Yeah, let's put the lock washer on after I had to go all through all that to find it. All right. Something ain't computing there because that's bottoming out. Oh, I see the little. This is like one of them square heady nuts, bolts. And it's got to line up to both channels, the channel in this bracket and this bracket, which makes sense because that keeps it from turning and lines everything up. And that works. I like that. And I can get my little nut back. And put it into the slide mount. The mount can slide back and forth, and there we go. It's mounted, sort of. I mean, it's not tightened down, but it's mounted. Should I mount it into the actual table saw? Square it all up and line it up. I think I should. It's going to be freaking heavy. It's going to be heavy. And I got to go to the back of the table saw. Oh, my leg. Oh, crap. Come on, cord. Don't get caught. Oh, baby, slide in there like you know you want to do. What am I catching on? Oh, the bench. Gotta be an airflow. And it's in there, sort of. Basically. It's on there. They don't look lined up, though. It certainly doesn't line up. Oh, this pulley's got to go way in. This motor's got to go way to the back. Yeah, that's it. Oh, crap. It turned it around so you guys could see, but it just weighs way too much. And I got 2 belts. Look at this. My brother thought a new belt might be in order. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's like permanently egg-shaped. It won't even straighten out. That's how long it stayed clamped. But you know what? I can use this as an alignment tool and not dick with the new belt yet. And I'm not as far off as I thought I was. I am off, but not anywhere near as far as I thought. Let's see, what size Allen key was that? What did I do with my Allen keys? I got too much crap out. One of these, I think. If I remembers correctly, it's this one right here. Which is what size is this? 15, 30 seconds. All right. Now, I think I got the belt too far in on the armature too. Oh no, I don't, because I got to clear that valley. There's a pocket in the top. I know you guys can't see it, but there's a pocket in the top where the belt has to go with the pulley. Oh, I got this pulley on backwards. That's it. Yeah, no, it's supposed to be on the outside, I think. So you can get to it, maybe. Okay, get on there. I think right around there looks good. That looks straight. Oh, I'm not on the pulley in there, that's why. Now I am. Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. I don't think it's perfectly straight, but it's pretty darn close. Hang the motor off the back. Square it up. Boy. What size is that? Maybe one of these here ratchety ones will work on it. Can't remember what size it is. And they do. These ratcheting frickin' box end wrenches. Frickin' awesome. I don't even remember where I got these. Oh, Home Depot. That's where. They're Huskies. They were on sale one day, one of those, clearancey boxes. It was like, you know what? They're kind of fancy. And I like them. So I bought them, thinking I'd probably never want to use them. Actually, I thought they'd just break. And they do not. They are freaking awesome, to be honest with you. So the motor's mounted somewhat. It's not straight. It's not true. You know what? I think I'll put the good belt in there. This one ain't much better, even though it's brand new, but it does straighten out. At least. More than that one does. Wonder if I wonder if I ever tighten the pulley on the inside. What did I just do with that wrench? What did I do with that Allen key wrench? Is this the one? I don't think it is, but it could be. It is. Let's tighten up this one. Yeah, that was a good idea, because that wasn't very tight. But now it is. Get the belt on the pulley. Get the belt on the pulley. This thing's got some side flex to it. Really don't like. Wonder how loud this thing's going to be. All right. And there's a lot of flex in that. I don't know how they can say that's okay. What am I looking for? The socket for that. Might be one of these. Again. But I don't think that one. I think it's one step bigger. What's this one? 3/8? Half inch. Is it a half inch or is it some kind of metric? It's metric. Half this frickin' thing is standard, half this thing is metric. Driving me nuts. Come on, baby. Somewhere around here, I think I got a socket to fit this. That would go a whole lot faster. I got box end right here. It's going to be like a 12 millimeter. And 10 or 11. Neither. Why can't they just use standard sizes? I thought this was all supposed to be standard sizes. Why is it not standard sizes? It's probably an 11, which my box wrench does 2s. It's an 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and I think 16. There's no 11, and there's no 15. There's no 7, and there's no 9. All right, it's in there. It's on there. I don't think that belt's perfectly straight, but it's pretty close. These aren't attached yet, but they're pretty close. Let's plug the motor into their weirdo switchy thing here, if I can. We're going to fire it up. It's not terrible. It's not quiet, but it's not the loudest saw I've ever heard. Definitely got to align that belt, wobbling around. But that's not terrible. I got to record it for my brother. Video. The belt's actually not that terrible. It is vibrating. Oh, I wasn't recording. I didn't hit the record button proper. My greasy fingers didn't register. Gotta align that belt better. But it's working. I fixed it and it's not broken. That can't be my motto. Groggy Nods, what's up? I'm not using OBS. Rest in peace, ears. I thought this thing these are supposed to auto down kick when it gets loud. It wasn't that loud, was it? I mean, the thing wasn't actually even that loud. I keep trying to do this like it's touchscreen. My back hurts just watching you lifting. Dude, you got to see me lift that frickin' table. That's a solid cast iron frickin' 98, I guess, or 96 that was made in cast iron table. I haven't put the side leaves on because they're cast iron too. They weigh about frickin' 50 pounds each. That top easily weighs 100 pounds all by itself. Not alone all the cast iron gears and motors and trunnions and frickin' rack and pinions for the tilt. Both is sure showing some weathering. Yeah. Rest in peace, ears. Ouch. OBS has an auto compressor. I don't use OBS because OBS won't work on this. This is a 2001 Mac laptop. iBook Snow or whatever it is. This thing couldn't do OBS. I'm surprised it streams at all. Sounds like something's rubbing because of high pitch sound. No, that's about right for that. That high pitch sound is normal for, especially with a 42 blade in it. Was it ear piercing? Did it really get that loud? I thought these. That's why I'm wearing the headset. They have an auto leveler. No, there isn't a cooling fan in this. It melts. I put 2 batteries in it, and it's got the plastic, Apple case. You can't just go out and buy a battery. And back when, because this is my father's laptop way back, the batteries expanded inside here, and it like pushed the case open. So I bought a new battery. It works fine. I mean, for what it is, I use it to run my CNC. It works beautifully. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you're just hearing crap that isn't there. Anyway, so it runs. That's awesome. I think I'm done with it for today. I have to put the side fences on, but and then adjust everything and straighten everything out. I did line the blade up when I mounted the trunnions and everything. Trunnions, it's not trunnions. The hell am I looking for? The actual whole body of the thing. What the hell do they call that? Carriage. Not a carriage. There's a name for it. Anyway, the whole cast iron thing that holds the blade and lines it up and does all the good stuff. Makes it all sit and holds the blade and tilt and swivel, and it's all cast iron underneath that thing. It's all been scrubbed and cleaned and re-glued and new bearings put in it and painted. Coke good even when it's warm. Yeah, my new Mac doesn't really like OBS, and I've got an M1 Mac, and it does not like OBS at all. And I got like a freaking thorn or something in my boot or my sock, and it's like really harsh, like maybe a metal shaving. Might have to throw these boots out finally. There's about 10 places I can see through the sides of them. All my little glue patches have fallen off. I don't know. When I first started filming on Twitch out here on this laptop, I glued these boots up, and the glue patch fell off. It's all broken. I don't really want to get rid of them because I have yet to find another pair recently that anyone makes that are like them. Cat doesn't. These are Cat Diesel boots, and I absolutely love these things. They're the most comfortable boots I've ever had. They're like slippers. They really are. But they are, they're done. They're kind of old. Yeah, I tried shoe glue. It's not that the glue isn't holding; it's that there's nothing left to hold to the leather, and I think they actually are real leather. Yeah, they're real leather. It's just gone. They're old. I mean, they're really old. I wouldn't be surprised if these boots are older than that saw. I've had these boots forever. How long have I had these boots? Let's see. I had them the whole time I worked at the state, so that's at least 15 years ago. Because I worked at the state. I worked at the state park during the summers. I did construction. I was working for myself, and let's see. I bought the van in 2005 because it's 2003. I bought it in 2005. It was 2 years old and had 180,000 miles on it. Now I got 280. I've put 100,000 miles on it since I bought it, just short of. Um, let's see. When did I buy these? I had to have bought these in like 99, 2000. That's how old they are. Some boots, I've got other boots. I've bought like three other pair. They're all inside. I wear them like 3 times and I can't stand them. For one, these are like, I don't tie them or anything. I just slip them on. They're like slippers. I just slide them on, but I can tie them. Like if I'm mowing the lawn or something, I'll tie them. I don't want to trip and slip and have them all floppy. But working in here, I just slip them on. I have yet to find another pair of boots that I can slip on and tie and are comfortable and, you know, I have a few sets of hiking boots, which are nice. They're really comfortable, but they don't go on and off as easily as these do. Anyway, everything works on it. It needs a little fine tuning and adjustment. I think I'm just gonna bolt those rails on. I don't really have anything I want to cut more than the 10 inches from the blade to the edge of that. I almost wish I could cut those off. If I didn't need them for the rip fence, I wouldn't put them on at all. At least for now. I'm gonna build a stand for it. Right now, it's just sitting on those horses. My brother never even brought over the, it's got one of them stamped steel freaking tripod-y looking legs, and I hate those things. I won't use them. So, out of all of that scrap wood over there, can I get over there to see it? No. Pulling my cord. Oh, crap! It's gonna fall out of my chair. Start rolling away on me. Over there, under that window, there's a whole pile of wood right here. I could probably, a lot of it's pressure treated and standard 2x. I can probably, I'd probably build a stand out of that. I have enough material. I have one probably 8 foot long, 2x10, couple of 4 foot pieces. I got a bunch of oak. Thinking that of these two right here that are kind of crappy. These are all of those are solid oak beams. They're like 2.5, 3 inches thick by like 6 inches tall, and they're solid oak, and they're about 200 years old. Yeah, I'm not making a stand out of those. My brother will have an absolute freaking hissy fit. He wants to make like a coffee table or something out of them. I can't really blame him since he funded a lot of the parts to make that happen. Because the planer, I was planing those, and I could do one of those boards, one of those beams would kill a set of the old standard blades on the planer, the old straight blades, which is why he went out and shelled out $500 for the helical blade for the planer, just so we could clean those boards. So I can't really just like go and chop them up and do stuff with them without his approval because they're kind of his. I mean, they're not. I could do it, but I wouldn't blame him if he got upset about it. Yeah, it depends. White oak is heavy. Red oak is not that heavy. And if you don't know the difference, This whole table is a mixture of both. This whole thing is actually all the scraps. If you look underneath, I don't know, can I get you underneath? Not without screwing up the cord, I don't think. Anyway, it's about 2 inches wide right here. Yeah, maybe I can get you under there. Can you see under there? Not really. It's all rotten. I blasted it and sanded it, but a lot of these, there's like 4 bad ones, and then I would put one nice actual solid piece of oak, and then 4 or 5 bad ones, and then one nice solid piece of oak, like this right here. That's just filler because there was a hole there where that knot was, and this whole table is made out of that. Just scraps from all of these boards, and I've got a whole another shelf of them on the other side of that wall of the same stuff, all oak. And I've used a lot of it too. On clocks and things and things. So anyway, I think I'm going to kill it because I don't know how long have I been doing this, 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's all right. I can't really plane it anymore. I started planing it, and I don't know, one of them over here started, the rot areas were popping through. I was trying to leave like at least 3/4 solid material, and one of them over here, the punky, rotty stuff started spilling through. So I threw some highly liquid, like epoxy glue in there, let it ooze down through the punky crap, and then just sanded it down and finished it. So it's not actually perfectly flat. And I was actually planing it on the CNC because I can't plane this thing all glued together. It's huge. It's 4 foot long and I don't know, 2.5, 3 feet wide. It's all like 1-inch pieces. They're not all the same thickness. They're all random thicknesses, but yeah, it's nice. It's heavy enough that I don't actually have it screwed down. It's just sitting on top of the legs, and they don't move. It don't fall off. Ads suck. Anyway, on that note, I think I'm going to raid somebody else. We will raid out of here if I can get this thing to load. It's trying to load 2 videos on 2 different windows at the same time, which it's really not happy about. It really doesn't like doing it. It'll do it. The PC, I got bigger than the MPC. I have this monstrosity of a CNC. It's big. It's really big. It's not super big. It doesn't quite take a full sheet of plywood. It'll take 49-inch in length and 45-inch in width. And I can actually make it take 48. It's a little small because I put the bigger head on it than it came with. What is up, 1977? Just in time for me to go raid someone else. I can't plane it. I don't have a planer to plane it. And the CNC really doesn't. It overhangs, but I can overhang with the CNC. It won't quite do it. I don't have a planer that'll do it. I want a 24-inch planer, but that ain't happening. 3 times today you're late? Oh well, sorry. Yeah, I've been here for 2.5 hours working on that saw that now runs. Needs some adjustments and fine tuning, but it actually runs now. It actually looks good. It actually looks like a table saw again. I don't know if you saw my Twitter post, or let's see, where did I do it? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They're all Tom Llama makes now. No more 3D printing llama. No more Tom Llama on its own. Everything is Tom Llama makes, except YouTube. It's the only thing I haven't converted over because it's locked into email. And I created a new email instead of taking 3D printing llama on Gmail and saying, okay, I want to rename 3D printing llama to Tom Llama makes. I'm not sure if I can convert the name of the thing over. I've done it once. I made it Tom Llama from 3D printing llama on YouTube. So I think I can do it even though I have a Gmail account with that name. But I'm trying to get them all the same. I've had Tom Llama for years. I used to use it for mountain biking. And then I went to 3D printing llama, but all I used on that was Twitter and YouTube. And then I tried to convert everything to Tom Llama, but some of my YouTube stuff was so old and some of the other social medias were so old. I never used the emails, and they were emails to companies that don't exist anymore, like FasterMac.com. Who's even heard of FasterMac.com? I used to be a web provider, and I had my own website on FasterMac.com. Well, they don't exist anymore. So, and they're like, well, you got to check your emails to the name that was on there. It's like, well, I don't have it. I can't remember the freaking password from 20 years ago. So I guess the password, and then they locked it up, and they're like, oh, you got to go get the email. Well, I can't get the email because the company FasterMac.com doesn't exist anymore. So how am I going to get the email from FasterMac.com? Makes no sense. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Needless to say, everything but YouTube at the moment, and I think I could switch YouTube, is now Tom Llama makes. Everything. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, here on Twitch. YouTube is still 3D printing llama, but that's the only one. Roadrunner email addresses, yeah. Anyway, Crapcast. Yeah, unfortunately, Comcast is the best I can get around here. It's Comcast satellite, which sucks, more expensive and slower. Even if I got freaking Elon Musk there, Starlink, it's more money and it's slower. It's not terribly slower, but it is slower. It's pretty fast here. My bottleneck is I got a half a mile long driveway with fiber optic to the end of my driveway, but coming up my driveway, it's copper, and that kicks me down. I actually have at the street, if I could hook up at the street, I have like 500 megabits down and like 150 up, but I'm only getting about 60 up in the house and like 200 down because I got a half a mile copper plus, the house. All the wiring in the house and connections, every time you put a connection in, you lose something. Because this is actually, and now I'm in the garage, so it's coming up into the house, into my router, then it comes back out of the router, down the house, underground, and back up into the garage. Because when I built this garage, I put power in, and I put internet, and I put phone. There's 3 tubes going across the house, underground. When I put this in, I was smart. And it was easy because I was working for my neighbor, and we just built a house. And he used to do modulars, and all that stuff comes with the modular. And they sent too much, and then we were like, "Oh, you sent too much piping and stuff." Same with the siding. And the company's like, "It costs more money to ship it back. Just keep it." Oh, okay. So he's like, "What am I gonna do with it? I'm gonna take it to the dump." I'm like, "No, you're not. I'm building a garage. Let's go put it in my yard." He's like, "Oh, okay." So one day I bought him a case of beer, and he came up with his backhoe, and he dug the trench, and we laid the pipe. It was nice, and we had magnet strap, so it's all tagged. So if I call, call before you dig. I don't know. It's different in every state, but here in this state, it's CB. Call before you dig. CBYD. If you type in CBYD, it's Connecticut. It's call before you dig, and they'll come and scan it for you. And I have magnetic tape up above all my power lines coming from the garage. Anything underground here's got magnetic tape. So call before you dig, I'll sense it. Because they just take their little magnet wand over the ground. Yeah, it really doesn't. And it's like, God, I had cable put in here in 89, 90 when Comcast first came. Actually, this was a Delphia before Comcast. I had them. And that was when Adelphia first came in because we had the satellite dishes, the big 10-foot satellite dishes on the house because we're in kind of a crappy location. So we either used regular antenna, which got us channel CBS, NBC, ABC. Occasionally we could get Fox if the weather was just right, and one PBS channel. That's all we could get off a regular like rooftop amplified, big massive, $500, $1,000 antenna on the roof with a 15-foot tower on it too. We put a 15-foot tower on the house and the antenna on that, and that's all we got with it. And then my brother started working for a company, his father-in-law, who did the big 10-foot satellite dishes back in the 70s and 80s. So we got one of those real cheap because it was the one that got shipped, and the dish cracked at the flange, and they're not allowed to put it in. And again, it was shipping it back costs more money, and it's just a waste. We can't repair it, so throw it out. So my brother's like, well, duct tape it. It doesn't hurt anything. It's just the outer flange. We'll hit it with some freaking crazy glue or, I don't even remember what we did. I think we actually epoxied it and duct taped it. And it worked fine for years and years and years. And then I got cable when Adelphia came in. And it's either Comcast now, because Comcast bought out Adelphia here. They did that like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Or Frontier, who bought out AT&T, and that's DSL, and that's freaking slow. Yeah, JB Weld. Actually, we might have used JB Weld now that you say that. Somewhere around. I think I still got that dish. I think it's down in the shed. It's one of the big 10-foot gray. I'm sure if you're old enough to remember, you've seen one of those monster dishes. Those were awesome because you got everything. There was nothing like modern dishes that, like DirecTV or Dish, where they only have the select channels. You got that thing. You got everything. The minute you paid for it, you got everything. There was no subscriptions. There was no. Once you installed it, you just pointed it at a satellite and you got whatever was coming off that satellite. We used to get freaking live broadcast from the military over at like Kuwait and shit with that thing. It was unreal. I want to say Kuwait. It wasn't Kuwait. I don't know. Wherever the war was back in the 80s, you could get live feed from the military off of it. You just had to find the satellite because the satellite wasn't broadcast knowledge, But my brother installed them. That's what he did, so he knew where it was. He's like, point the dish at this longitude and latitude, and you'd get the live feed off the military. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, golf war, whatever. One of them wars. Anyway, I'm going to kill this thing because I got to go inside and get cleaned up. And I'm about burnt out from working on this thing for the last 2 days straight. Because I kind of putzed with it for the last week, and now my knee's feeling a little better. So I really went balls to the walls for the last 2 days. And wanted to get it done. So, who are we going to raid? Well, let me raid. Why am I not getting the raid part? Where's the raid part? Of course, I got to let this freaking old ass laptop load. Load. There it is. Ah, there it is. It finally popped up. Raid a channel. I don't care about start watching. Done. Oh, come on. Of course, I click on something and this thing takes so long it doesn't know what it's doing. We can go to a glass blower. He's really cool. I actually start following him. I don't glass blow, but he's really cool. We watch Maker Deck. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the glass blower. Be warned, this dude is a pothead. If you're against that, get over it. But he blows glass pipes and stuff. He's really funny. He's kind of a goofball. And he blows glass pipes and bongs and stuff, but he does really like fancy like fishes and weird crap. Raid now. We have raided. Did it raid? I don't think it actually raided over, did it? Oh, I'm ending the broadcast.